Good morning. We'll just give folks a moment to come in from the waiting room. As a reminder, as you are entering from the waiting room, please do remain on mute unless or until you are appearing or speaking before the board. Good morning. This is a hearing before the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Wednesday, September 28th, 2022. Today's hearing is being held pursuant to temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. Today's hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the city of Boston's website. Before I review procedural matters, I will introduce Chairwoman Kathleen Joyce.
Thank you, Danny. My name is Kathleen Joyce. I'm chair of the Boston Licensing Board, and today I am pleased to be joined by Commissioner Liam Curran and Commissioner Kiana Saxon.
Thank you. And as a reminder, please do mute yourself unless or until you are speaking before the board. Please ensure that your audio and visuals are working properly. I will call each item in the order that it appears on this morning's agenda. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the applicant. You will make a brief presentation regarding your proposal, followed by questions by the chairwoman and commissioners. Following questions, there will be testimony beginning with elected officials or their representatives. Please limit your testimony to 2 minutes and please state your name, address, and affiliation, if any. Begin with item number 1 on this morning's agenda, calling DEB Group LLC, doing business as El Jefe's Taqueria, located at 80 Boylston Street. Holder of a common victualler license has petitioned to amend the closing hour of the licensed business from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Hi, Danny. Myself and John Shaw are here.
Great. You may present to the board.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Chris Tracy from O'Neill & Associates with a business address of 18 Tremont Street in Boston. With me is John Shaw, the owner and proprietor at El Jefe's at 80 Boylston Street at this location. Again, respectfully asking for the board's consideration for an extension of the closing hour from the current midnight to 2 a.m. We originally considered a 3 a.m. close, decided to scale that back to 2 a.m. given some of the existing issues with theater district bars and restaurants letting out. El Jefe's is a family-owned restaurant. They try to operate a clean, efficient, and safe restaurant, and they've had demand from customers for more late-night services, in particular, late shift workers, police, firefighter, nurses getting off shifts who are looking for quality food at a reasonable price. El Jefe's does not sell alcohol and has no intention to sell alcohol. They have zero tolerance for alcohol or drugs on site. We submitted a packet of support to Danny and the board on Friday, September 23rd. Included in this was 10 letters of support from local businesses, 400 signatures of support received in store, and over 1,000 signatures gathered online. Finally, we appeared at the Midtown Neighborhood Association on September 14th, and we presented to that group, and it was conveyed to us that more members voted to support than oppose following our hearing. So I will hand it over to John to take it from there, but that is our application at this time. Thank you.
Mr. Shaw, are you with us?
John, it looks like you're on and you're on mute.
Just I'm trying to find him on here.
Okay.
I've just asked him to unmute.
Okay.
He's now joining from his iPhone. Here we go. Mr. Shaw, are you with us? Oh, wait, you're on mute still.
Hi, I'm sorry, my computer wasn't letting me on, but my cell phone did. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Thanks for joining us. Mr. Tracy just outlined what you're proposing. Do you want to add anything?
No, I just wanted to say that we originally came to the board 2.5 years ago with this request to stay open until 2 a.m. And since that time, we've tried to demonstrate that we're a good operator. And that means that, you know, we're attempt to be good to our employees. We treat them with respect. We pay them well. We provide real benefits. We've tried to be good to the neighborhood we've located in. We support local organizations. We work especially closely with Bridge Over Troubled Waters. And we do that for a reason. The neighborhood that we're in certainly deals with confronts the issue of homelessness. And rather than sort of ignoring or hiding sort of behind that, we've chosen to work with the people that are sort of have taken this issue on and have tried to address this problem for many, many years. We're also try to be a good tenant. We pay rent on time and we work with our landlord the best as we can around the issues in the little building where we're located. And also, I just wanted to remind the board also that the Emerson College has allowed us in our lease to be open until 2 a.m. It's a provision in our lease. And lastly, it also means we try to be sort of good to our customers. And the 1,500 signatures that we've gotten and the petition for the board to request us to be open till 2 a.m. and the 10 letters that we've gotten from neighboring businesses makes clear that there's a demand for people in the neighborhood that would like to see us be open until 2 a.m. Being open till 2 a.m. will make us a better operator in all 4 of these areas that I've mentioned. With our employees, by being open till 2 a.m., when we close at midnight now, by the time staff are done cleaning and putting everything away, it's 1:30 and the tea is closed. By allowing us to be open until 2, people will keep working until 3:30 or 4 o'clock. And at that time, the restaurant will be done, but we'll prep for an hour and a half until 5:30, and staff will stay on the clock until 5:30 when the tea opens, and people will be able to go home on the tea as opposed to having to pay for Ubers or Lyfts. Or a lot of time, my regional manager picks people up and, you know, and gives people, you know, sort of rides home at 1:30 in the morning. So it would be, not only will we be able to hire more people, but the people that we already have will have way better transportation options if we can be open until 2 a.m. It also means we're a better sort of neighbor. It just means that we will have a better sort of be in a better position to help support more local organizations. It also means we'll be a better tenant because Emerson gets percentage rent from us. So higher sales means that we're going to be paying Emerson more rent. And finally, it also means that we're, you know, sort of addressing the needs of the customers who want us to be open until 2 a.m. So that was all. I just wanted to sort of let you know that there's a demand in the neighborhood for us to be open until 2 a.m. And I also just wanted to point out one thing, that we did not request from the board to be open till 3 a.m., which we have in other sort of neighborhoods, in order to sort of acknowledge the issue of not wanting to have people in the neighborhood in the area when clubs close at 2 o'clock. And we're not going to be contributing to that issue now because we'll already be closed at the same times that the bars and clubs close at 2. So those are all the things I just wanted to let the board know, remind.
Thank you, Mr. Crow. Chairman Joyce, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Were there any particular issues that came up at the neighborhood association meeting that you've been able to work with them on?
Well, I mean, in the presentation that I gave to the Midtown Park Plaza Neighborhood Association 2 weeks ago, I sort of asked for additional input from them if they had any questions, and I believe that the majority vote was supporting our position to be open till 2 a.m. And it certainly wasn't the case 2.5 years ago when we first came. So it seems that we have been sort of accepted as a good neighbor by the Midtown Park Plaza Neighborhood Association.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any other questions. Commissioners?
Not at this time. I'll wait for comments. Thank you.
None for me either. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Hi, good afternoon. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. My name is Chu from the Office of Neighborhood Services. Our office did not hold an abutters meeting for this applicant. This applicant did submit an Excel spreadsheet of online petition signatures, along with copies of 27 pages of petitions and letters of support from 10 local businesses. In addition to that, they also received a letter of support from the Midtown Park Plaza Neighbors Association. At this time, we would like to defer judgment to the board.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Flame's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 2, Render Coffee 121 LLC, doing business as Render Coffee, located at 32 Cambridge Street in Charlestown, has applied for a common victualler license to be exercised on the above, located in Foundation Kitchen Food Hall, 1 stall with kitchen and storage in basement. Manager Christopher Dady. Hours of operation 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Good morning. My name is Chris Dady. I'm the owner of Render Coffee 121.
Okay, thank you. If you could just briefly describe your proposal to the board.
We're applying for a common victualer's license for a food stall and the Foundation Kitchen Food Hall that will be at 32 Cambridge Street. We're mostly doing breakfast and lunch, but we will be having hours from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then on the weekends, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We serve coffee, pastries, and breakfast and deli sandwiches for lunch, along with salads. Yeah, we have 8 bar stools, and yeah, we're looking forward to serve the neighborhood.
Thank you very much. Any questions beginning with Chairwoman Joyce?
I have no questions. Thanks, Danny.
Thank you. Commissioner Carr, Commissioner Saxon.
I do not. Thank you.
None for me. Thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's defer judgment to the board. Our office is unaware of any concerns from the neighborhood. Previously, Foundation Kitchen Food Hall went through an extensive community process. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Calling item number 3, Tori EV Food Inc., doing business as Tori Japan, located at 62 William C. Kelly Square in East Boston, has applied for a common victualler license to be exercised on the above. Ground level, front service kitchen, no storage. Prep kitchen is behind front service counter, 1 bathroom for customers. Manager Min Zhu, hours of operation 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant? Is there anybody with us from Tori Japan this morning? We will take a second call. Thank you. Calling item number 4, Boston Garden Fours LLC, doing business as Scores, located at 166 Canal Street. Holder of a common victualler 7-day all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Fred Starikoff to Tyler Smith. Attorney Michael Ford. Attorney Ford.
Good morning. Again, Michael Ford here representing Boston Garden Fours, now known as Scores. With me is the proposed new manager, Tyler Smith, who should be, I see him on the screen. He's the proposed manager of record. He has substantial experience as a manager. His most recent would be RFO Sullivan's in Somerville, where he serves as the manager of record and oversaw a successful opening and smooth operation, worked with Rochambeau's, as well as Area 4 and several other places listed there. He's a Mass resident, U.S. citizen, and familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, as well as the ABCC. And Tyler is here if you have any questions for him.
Tyler, can you just raise your hand? I don't see you.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, thank you. I'm doing well, thanks. Your attorney laid out the manager of record questions, which I was prepared to ask you. So I want to thank him and thank you for joining us today. I, at this time, don't have any other questions.
Neither do I. Thank you.
No questions from me, thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Calling item number 5, Boston Hospitality Partners LLC, located at 1 Franklin Street, holder of a club all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Desmond U.Y. Chow to Mark Malatesta. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
I am Attorney Green. This is John Aida, Emery Quilty and Miller. Joining me is Mark Malatesta, the proposed manager of record. This is the club license at the Millennium Tower, consists of the 4th and 5th floor. Mark is going to be the manager of record. Mark has many years of experience as an owner and operator. He's also been previously approved by this board as a manager of record. And for those reasons, just to reiterate, he is a United States citizen, a Massachusetts resident, and he is familiar with the rules of this board, the laws of the Commonwealth and the ABCC as it pertains to sale and service of alcohol. Mark is joining us if you did have any specific questions for him.
So I'm sorry, you said it's a club license at which hotel?
Yep, this is the Millennium Tower at 1 Franklin Street.
Okay.
So these are the condo unit owners. This is their private club license, so it's just for them and to their for their guests.
Okay. And you'll have like a list of members on site?
Yes.
And I think I saw Mr. Malatesta.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, thanks. He's already been approved by this board, so I have no further questions. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Curran?
I do not. Thank you.
None from me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
And you. Calling item number 6, BBRG Waterfront TR LLC, doing business as Joe's American Bar and Grill, located at 100 Atlantic Ave, holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Samantha Reynolds to Jessica Hassan. Attorney Tom Miller. Attorney Miller.
Thank you, Danny. Good morning, Chairwoman Joyce, Commissioners. Tom Miller from McDermott, Quilty and Miller on behalf of the licensee. Today I am joined by Jessica Hassan, the proposed manager of record. She has extensive experience in the hospitality industry with over 10 years acting in a supervisory or managerial role. She is a U.S. citizen. She resides in Revere. Jessica is familiar with the rules of the BLB and the ABCC, as well as the Mass General laws as they relate to the sale and service of alcohol. And this is, she is a qualified candidate, and we want to thank you for your time, and we're happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thanks, Attorney Miller, for outlining that for us. I'm satisfied with the manager of record questions, but is Ms. Hassan here? I just don't see her on my screen.
I believe she's Jessica's iPhone. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. All right, thank you for joining us. I don't have any other questions at this time.
You, Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon.
None from me. Thank you.
None from me either, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 7, Putt Shack Boston Seaport LLC, doing business as Putt Shack, located at 58 Pier 4 Boulevard. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Elena Louise Tedisco to Carrie Henderson, who's present on behalf of the applicant.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Elizabeth Pisano from Upton, Connell, and Devlin on behalf of the applicant Putt Shack Boston Seaport. This is for a change of manager application. The proposed manager is Carrie Henderson. She has 20 plus years of experience in the food and beverage industry. She is a U.S. citizen, a Massachusetts resident, and is familiar with the rules and regulations relating to the sale of alcohol. Carrie is on here with me this morning if you have any additional questions for us.
Thank you, Attorney Pisano, and Carrie, thank you for joining us. Where do you live?
I currently live in Whitman, Massachusetts.
Okay. And what has your experience been? Your attorney said 20 years of experience.
I started my career in 1998 as a manager at Dick's Last Resort and moved my way up to the director of operations and ended there in 2020 due to COVID. And then I became the director of operations for King's in Dedham and the director of operations for King's in Seaport.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't have any other questions, commissioners. Do you?
Thank you.
I do not. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 8, Bennington 1004 LLC, doing business as Renegades Pub, located at 1004 Bennington Street in East Boston. Holder of a common victular 7-day alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Katie Daly to Valerie O'Connor. Attorney Kristen Scanlon. Attorney Scanlon.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Kristen Scanlon for the licensee. Signed on with us this morning is Valerie O'Connor, who is the proposed manager of record. By way of background, Valerie has worked in the industry for the past decade in several different positions, including server, bartender, and manager. Most recently, she's been employed by Renegades since May of 2017. So she does have extensive experience in the industry and with this business in particular. She is a U.S. citizen, Massachusetts resident, living in East Boston, which is where Renegades is. Happy to answer any questions the board might have.
Thank you, Attorney Scanlon. And I see Valerie. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you for joining us today. I have no other questions at this time. Thank you.
Needed. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Calling item number 9, Facility Concession Services, Inc., doing business as Charles Playhouse, located at 74 to 78 Warrenton Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Jeffrey Thompson to Michael McCurry. Attorney Scanlon once again. Attorney Scanlon. Attorney Scanlon, can you hear us?
Sorry, it cut out. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you now. Oop, there's maybe a little bit of a lag. Okay, can you hear us now?
I do see Michael McCurry next to you.
Sorry.
Great.
I don't know if Attorney Scanlon's audio is working.
Yeah, maybe if you turn your video off, you might be able to participate better. There's a lag between you and us.
I'm going to jump in and ask Mr. McCurry, the manager of record, questions. And if Attorney Scanlon if she's able to reconnect her audio, maybe if there's other information she'd like to share with the board, she can at that time. Mr. McCurry, are you a citizen?
Yes.
Are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Yep. I currently live in Dorchester.
Okay. And what is your experience in the food and beverage industry?
I've worked in food and beverage for about 15 years with Spectrum Facility Concession Services for about 12. I've been the manager on record for 8 years at the Charles Playhouse and fairly familiar with the operation there.
Okay. So my last question is, are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yep, sure am.
Okay. Based upon the application description on the agenda, I don't think there's anything else before us today with this application. Commissioners, do you have any questions?
I do not. Nope. Thank you.
Okay, and if Attorney Scanlon does have anything else she wants to add, we can add that when she's able to reconnect.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anybody who would like to testify on this matter before we move on, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. McCurry, for joining us.
Thank you.
Calling item number 10, Spin Boston LLC, doing business as Spin, located at 30 Melcher Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Michael Joseph Martin to Megan Nicole Robertson, who is present on behalf of the applicant.
Good morning, everyone. Andrew Upton for the applicant, and with me is Megan Robinson, the proposed manager of record. She's a Mass resident, a U.S. citizen. She has experience in the industry, and she's familiar with the rules and regulations. And we are proposing only a manager change, no change to any aspect of operations. And she's here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Attorney Upton, and thank you for joining us, Ms. Robertson. Where do you live in Massachusetts?
I live in Drake.
Okay. I have no questions at this time. Commissioner Saxon, Commissioner Curran, do you?
I do not. Thank you.
None from me, thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Calling item number 11, Hard Rock Cafe International, STP Inc., doing business as Hard Rock Cafe, located at 20 Clinton Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day alcoholic beverages license has petitioned for a change of officers directors. Attorney Scott Holmes. Attorney Holmes.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. I'm here on behalf of the Hard Rock. Also with me is Michael Hagan, who is the Assistant Vice President for all of Hard Rock in the Northeast. And this is a relatively easy one. John Robert Eder is on the license. He was the treasurer and vice president for all of Hard Rock. He has since left. And as part of the separation agreement, he has requested his name being taken off of, I think, 36 different licenses around the country. And so we have taken this step to do so. To be honest, no one has been hired yet or retained to take that position. A corporation of this size requires pretty extensive national search, and that is still ongoing. Once that position has been filled, I'll be back before the board in order to update the license, but at this time we're asking that Mr. Eder just simply be removed from the license.
Thank you, Attorney Holmes. I have no questions. Commissioners, do you?
None for me. Thank you.
I do not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Anybody who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you. Attorney
Thank you.
Holmes.
Be well, everyone.
And you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 12, Seaport Hotel Limited Partnership, doing business as Seaport Hotel, located at 1 Seaport Lane. Holder of an in-holder all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned for a change of officers directors of its sole general partner, Commonwealth Flats Development Hotel Corp. Attorney Elizabeth Lashway. Attorney Lashway.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, and Attorney Green. Thank you for your time this morning. I'm Elizabeth Lashway here for the Seaport Hotel Limited Partnership. This is just for a change of treasurer of the limited partnership's sole general partner, Commonwealth Flats Development Hotel Corporation. By way of background, the Seaport Hotel is located at 1 Seaport Lane. It has an in-holder all alcoholic beverages license. They've been licensed since 1998. And they are partnerships. So they have two partners, and we're here today with regard to one of them, the sole general partner, Commonwealth Flats Development Hotel Corporation. You may recall that we were before you in April of this year for a change of officers and directors and a change of the manager. And that was approved in June of this year. Since that was approved, Commonwealth Flats Development Hotel Corporation has changed its treasurer. The former treasurer was Michael Kearney, and the new treasurer that we're requesting approval of today is Matthew Borden. He is a Mass resident, US citizen, has no criminal record and no ownership in the company. With me today is the license manager, Mariana Accomando Taylor, as well as the secretary of Commonwealth Flats, Robin Gottschall, if you have any particular questions. Thank you.
Thank you for that explanation. Chairman Joyce, do you have any questions?
Thank you, Attorney Lashway, and thank you all for joining us today. I don't have any questions at this time.
Commissioner Carney, Commissioner Saxon?
I do not. Thank you.
None from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item 13, Huntington Theater Company, Inc., doing business as Calderwood Pavilion at the BCA, located at 527 Tremont Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages license has petitioned for a change of officers directors. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Hi, my name's Katie Most, and I'm the manager of the Calderwood Pavilion at the Boston Center for the Arts. Our current officers have ended their term, and as of August 16th, 2022, the Huntington Theater Company has all 6 new board officials that we would like to add to our license.
Okay, thank you. I have no questions at this time. Commissioner Saxon, Commissioner Curran.
No questions. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anybody who would like to testify on this matter before we move on? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you. Calling item number 14, 149 Charles Pub LLC, doing business as the Charles Street Pub located at 149 Charles Street. Holder of a general on-premise all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to pledge the license to Northern Bank and Trust Company. Who is present on behalf of the applicant? I believe I'm frozen currently.
Recess, I believe. Here's Danny. Here's Danny.
Okay,
Kathleen,
it looks like everybody is still here with us. I think City Hall just experienced
Yeah.
I think we lost City Hall for a sec, right?
I think you lost everyone at City Hall. We are back. Wow. Okay.
We're still here.
And everybody's back with us?
Yeah.
I think
Right,
so.
we're still recording. This is
Danny, I could hear you in the next office, but nothing was moving on the computer.
I know, we're texting each other. I'm frozen. Okay, this is great. The joys of Zoom hearings. All right, and we are back at item number 14, 149 Charles Pub LLC, doing business as Charles Street Pub located at 149 Charles Street. Holder of a general on-premise all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to pledge the license to Northern Bank and Trust Company. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Good morning, everyone. Attorney Chaz Fisher, on behalf of the petitioner, 149 Charles Pub LLC. Attorney Carolyn Conway is our representative counsel on this. She apologizes she was not able to attend, a conflict in the schedule. But I am the manager of record, and I'm available to answer any of your questions you may have.
Thank you, Thank you for joining us. Just what is the reason for the pledge?
It's a part of Northern Bank and Trust general commercial loan obligations. They cross collateralize pretty much everything when they do commercial loans. Not only the real estate, which they have the real estate mortgage, but they also have UCC filings, and then this being another asset of sizable value, they also wanted a lien on this as well.
Thank you for that explanation. I don't have any other questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you?
Nothing further. Thank you.
No questions from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify in this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify in this matter? Board will take this under advisement, and thank you for bearing with us during the technical difficulties.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Calling item number 15, Minot Hospitality Group LLC, doing business as Minot Hospitality Group, located at 25 to 29 Charles Street. Holder of an in-holder all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from boutique hotel, including 13 guest rooms, room service, and restaurant on 5 floors, basement for kitchen and storage, first floor restaurant with dining seating for 80 patrons and bar seating for 15 with no standees, second floor guest rooms and outdoor terrace with lounge seating, third through fifth floors for additional guest rooms, to boutique hotel, including 14 guest rooms, room service, and restaurant on 5 floors, basement for kitchen and storage, first floor restaurant with dining seating and bar seating, second floor guest room, and outdoor terrace with lounge seating, third through fifth floors for additional guest rooms. Secondly, has petitioned to change the DBA of the licensed business from Minot Hospitality Group to Beacon Hill Hotel. And lastly, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Michael Jamanko to Thomas Santaniello, who is present on behalf of the applicant.
Thank you, Secretary Green. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Ryan Gosda on behalf of the licensee. With me on the call, I believe, is Andrew Flynn, who is the LLC manager, as well as Thomas Santaniello, who is the new proposed manager of record. This is an application seeking mostly minor administrative updates to the liquor license following the hotel changing hands last year. There's no meaningful operational changes proposed. The first of the changes is the change of DBA to Beacon Hill Hotel. At the time that the license was transferred, the name was not identified at the time, but we filed the DBA certificate within the past month, and that's now seeking to be updated. Second change is the alteration of premise to update an earlier floor plan that was on file. We'll be changing the number of guest rooms from 13 to 14, so adding 1 additional room, as well as an additional dining room that'll be in the basement level that was completed as part of the build out for the hotel while renovations were ongoing. The last change is the change of manager. Thomas Santaniello has been identified as the new full-time manager of record. He is a U.S. citizen, a Massachusetts resident, has significant experience in the food and beverage industry, and was general manager for other hotels, and is familiar with the rules and regulations regarding the sale and service of alcohol. That being said, we're happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Attorney Costa and Mr. Santaniello. Thank you for joining us. Where do you live in Massachusetts?
Right in Boston.
You live right in Boston, okay?
Yep.
And the what is the capacity of the new dining room in the basement?
I believe it's a total of 140 people. Oh, I'm sorry, 104. 104.
In the basement?
No,
Just
in
the basement?
No, the basement is just eight people. I believe there's 8 seats down there.
I think 12, up to 12.
Up to 12 in the basement, okay. And what do you think the impact of that additional space will be on the hotel guests or vice versa? So I assume you go into the restaurant and go down to the basement for that additional space. So how do you get into the hotel guest rooms?
So thank you for your time today, and thank you for the question. In terms of, we've undergone an extensive renovation over the past 2 years on this property, and ultimately some of these were just organic design changes that evolved as the space was renovated. With regards to the basement space specifically, it's essentially an addition of a private dining room off the kitchen, which I think really will have pretty limited effect on the overall operations. I think the only people really going down to that will be the folks specifically dining in that private dining room. Other than that, the entrance to the hotel, the kind of wayfinding up to the guest rooms, none of that has been materially changed at this time.
Okay. And what kind of community process did you guys go through for this alteration?
We did speak up.
Community process when we transferred the license back in early 2021.
Okay.
We have informed Beacon Hill Civic. We've toured some of their members through, but that's the extent of the process we've gone through for this specific change.
Okay, so in 2021, was this additional dining room part of that discussion at the community level?
It was referenced. We hadn't finalized all of the floor plans yet at that time.
Prior to coming before the board today, though, this updated floor plan was discussed with them.
Yes.
Updated floor plan, including this room off the kitchen in the basement.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. I don't have any other questions at this time. Commissioner Curran, do you, or Commissioner Saxon?
I do not. Thank you.
No further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office Neighborhood Services. This time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer judgment to the board. As you heard from the applicant, they have done some outreach with the community. We've had a lot of personnel turnover in our office, so we don't have all the details, but we're unaware of any concerns at this time. And with that, we defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Thank you. The board will take this under advisement, and I know Attorney Gazda that we have re-advertised and re-notified based on the to include the additional dining room we were talking about. So thank you for that.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Calling item number 16, BP Eatery LLC, doing business as Lily's Boston, located at 33 to 35 Battery March Street. Holder of a 7-day alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from in one room and kitchen on the first floor with storage in rear, and to include an outdoor seasonal patio from March to November for 110 patrons on private property between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 a.m. To in one room and kitchen with bar on the first floor with storage in rear, and to include a seasonal March to November outdoor patio of 2,800 square feet with auxiliary service bar for 99 patrons on private property with hours of 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. indoor and outdoor. Who's present on behalf of the applicant?
Thank you again, Secretary Green. Ryan Gosd on behalf of the applicant. With me on the call is Peter Simonelli, who is the general manager. This is another application basically seeking a minor administrative update to update the floor plan that's on file associated with the liquor license. We're simply seeking to memorialize a small auxiliary service bar that's been added on the outdoor patio that has 2 kegerators. Other than that, there are no operational changes proposed. Seating, layout, everything will largely be remaining as is. So this is really just to update an additional point of sale that's been added on the patio outside. Other than that, we're happy to answer any questions. They did conduct an abutters meeting, and we're aware of no concerns.
Thank you, Attorney Gazda. I have no questions.
Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, any questions?
No, thank
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I am Sierra D'Amico with the Neighborhood Services. Lily's Bar and Pizza had completed their community process on September 6th. There was no concerns, oppositions, or comments. Our office would like to defer to the board's judgment at this time.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Calling item number 17, Vin and Vigor LLC, doing business as the Wine Bottega, located at 341 Hanover Street. Holder of a retail package store wines and malt beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Niles LLC, doing business as the Wine Bottega at the same location. Matthew Diekman, manager, closing hour 11 p.m. Attorney Adam Barnoski. Attorney Barnoski.
Thank you, Attorney Green. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Adam Barnoski, 255 State Street in Boston. On behalf of the applicant, with me is Ani Ajemian and Matthew Diekman, the members and managers of the applicant, Niles LLC, with Matthew being the proposed manager of record. We are here regarding the transfer of an off-premise Section 15 malt and wine beverage license at 341 Hanover Street in the North End. This is the same location. This is the same location transfer for the continued operation of the Wine Bottega under new ownership. The Wine Bottega is a long-standing retailer in the North End located on Hanover between Fleet and Prince Street, offering a variety of natural wines and craft beer. Matt and Ani plan to run the store in a similar fashion to the existing operation, with cosmetic upgrades to the interior of the shop and additional offerings for sale. There are no changes to the business trade name, the location, the description of the licensed premise, or the hours of operation. The closing hour will remain 11 p.m. As I mentioned, Matthew Diekman is the proposed manager of record. He has experience in the hospitality industry and the sale and service of alcoholic beverages, working for the past 15 years as a restaurant manager, bartender, and wine bar director in businesses in the North End and throughout Boston. A resume with his full experience was included in the application. He is a United States citizen and Massachusetts resident, currently residing in Somerville. He will be on site 40+ hours a week. The applicant anticipates opening at some point in late fall, early winter, subject to the approval of this board and the ABCC. And while there are no changes to the concept, location, or hours, the applicant has been in touch with ONS relative to the application and reached out to contacts at NEWRA and NEWNC, and there has been no opposition received to date on the application. We are happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you, Attorney Barnoski, and thank you for joining us. Mr. Diekman, just one question for the board's record. Are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
I am.
Okay, thank you very much. I have no questions. Thank you. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Kern, do you?
None for me. Thank you.
None for me either. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Calling item number 18, Jenica Vintage Liquors, Inc., doing business as Beacon Hill Wine and Spirits, Inc., located at 63 Charles Street. Holder of a retail package all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Beacon Hill Wine and Spirits, Inc., doing business as Beacon Hill Wine and Spirits at the same location. Swati Patel, manager, closing hour 11 p.m. And lastly, has petitioned to pledge the license and inventory to Rockland Trust Company. Attorney John Moradian. Attorney Moradian.
Good morning, Attorney John Moradian, Democus Law Offices. With me is Swati Patel. I did see her earlier. She has formed Beacon Hill Wine Spirits Incorporated, and she's purchasing the liquor store known as Beacon Hill Wine Spirits at 63 Charles Street. Today, we're seeking approval to transfer the license, approval of Swati Patel's manager of record, and approval of a pledge of the license inventory to Rockland Trust Company. It's going to be the same operation. There are no changes, 11 p.m. closing hour. Swati is a U.S. citizen and Mass resident. She does have experience with alcohol sales. She's a clerk over at North Station Liquors. And she is familiar with the rules and regulations of the city of Boston, the ABCC, and the state of Massachusetts. And lastly, the pledge is for the acquisition loan to buy the business. And we are meeting with the Beacon Hill Neighborhood Association on Wednesday, October 5th, to go over the transfer, but we don't expect any opposition to occur. There's no changes to any of the operation.
Thank you, Attorney. Thank you for answering all the questions I would have had. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Kern, do you have any?
I do not. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Calling item number 19, South End Formaggio, Inc., located at 266 to 268 Shawmut Ave in Roxbury. Holder of a retail package wines and malt beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Formaggio South End, Inc., doing business as Formaggio Kitchen at the same location. Julia Hallman, manager, closing hour 10 p.m. And lastly, has petitioned to pledge the license to South End Formaggio, Inc., Cambridge Savings Bank. Who's present on behalf of the applicant?
Thank you, Secretary Green. Good morning, Madam Chair. Ryan Gosda on behalf of the applicant. With me on the call is Julia Hallman, who is the owner and proposed manager of record. This is an application seeking to transfer ownership of the existing wine and malt package store license to the proposed new owner of Formaggio Kitchen in South End. Julia Hallman, who is the current GM of Formaggio's location in Cambridge, has entered into an asset purchase agreement with the current operator to buy out the business, for lack of a better word, and take over operations of the establishment. The package store will continue to be operated in the same fashion under the same DBA and hours of operation, just simply under new ownership. As part of that transaction, there are 2 loans that have been entered into to fund the transaction, which are memorialized by the pledge agreements that have been filed as well to Cambridge Savings Bank for an SBA loan, as well as a second loan to the seller, South End Formaggio. As I mentioned, Julia will be the manager of record. She is a Massachusetts resident, a US citizen, has experience in the food and beverage industry. As I said, she is the current GM of the other location in Cambridge, and she is familiar with the rules and regulations regarding the sale of alcohol. Prior to coming before the board today, we did discuss this with ONS, and we also met with 8th Streets Neighborhood Association, and we've been proposed with no opposition. But we're happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Attorney Gazda, and thank you for joining us today. Julia, I have no questions at this time. Commissioners, do you?
I do not. Thank you.
Neither do I. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item 20, Hampshire House Corporation doing business as Cheers at Faneuil Hall Marketplace, located at 29 Faneuil Hall Square. Holder of a common victular 7-day alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Eventide Fenway LLC, doing business as Eventide Fenway, located at 1321 Boylston Street. Premise consists of restaurant on 1 floor, 3 rooms, including a dining room with seating for 69. Year-round weather permitting patio area on private property, midnight closing hour with seating for 16, 2 entrances, 2 exits, and 1 service entry exit. William Drosty, manager, closing hour 2 a.m. Attorney John Aida. Attorney Aida.
Thank you, Attorney Green. Madam Chair, members of the board, John Aida, McDermott Quilton Miller, on behalf of the applicant Eventide Fenway LLC. Joining me is William Drost. He is the current manager of record, as well as the proposed manager record. And the reason why he's the current manager record is Eventide Fenway presently holds a wine and malt beverages license. It's presently in the works to being transferred. I think you heard that application a couple weeks ago. Eventide had the opportunity to purchase an all alcohol beverage license from Cheers at Faneuil Hall, which had closed during the pandemic. This is a great opportunity for Eventide Fenway. They've been in business for 5 years now, approximately 5 years now. They run a great restaurant there. And this is really an opportunity for them to add an additional component to their menu, some signature cocktails and certain drinks that will really complement and pair well with their food. This is also the same type of operation that their original restaurant, which was in Portland, Maine, had. It's a full alcohol license. So they are familiar with running an operation with full alcohol. In addition to William Drost, also joining me is Arlen Smith, one of the owners. I believe Andrew Taylor was on at one point. He may not be now. But again, they have done a great job. No issues, no concerns. This is something that's going to be a great complement to their customers, and they've been well received over the last 5 years and looking to expand their food and alcohol service. No other changes, same type of operation. The manager, as I mentioned, will stay the same, so that will be consistent. We did have an abutters meeting and there was no opposition from those members. And any questions either for myself or William, we'd be more than happy to answer.
Thank you very much. I have no questions. Commissioners?
I do not.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes. Hello. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Maggie Van Scoy. I'm from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. As John mentioned, we held an abutters meeting last night and we heard no concerns from the community, and the applicant answered all questions. So at this time, our office would like to defer to the board on this matter.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 21, Janera Supermarket, Inc., located at 260 East 8th Street in South Boston, has applied for a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license to be exercised on the above. The premise is a multi-purpose building with residence and retail on main level located at 258 to 260 East 8th Street, also known as 19 Knowlton Street, unit number 5. There'll be a single floor retail space, approximately 1,213 square feet, a grocery and convenience store with 1/4 of sales dedicated to alcohol sales. Manager Maxiel Guerrero, closing time 10 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
I am. Sorry, I'm having issues with my video. This is Maxiel Guerrero.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Guerrero. If it is possible to turn your camera on for the manager of record questions, that would be great. But otherwise, if you could just please present to the board what it is that you're proposing.
So if you give me one quick second, I can try to do the camera.
Absolutely. In the meantime, if you want to talk us through your proposal. Oh, Ms. Guerrero is now in the waiting room, potentially on a different device.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. And now you're on mute. Hang on one second.
All right.
Perfect.
All right. Hi. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Good morning, everybody. First and foremost, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Maxiel Guerrero. I am here representing as manager of record for the Janera Supermarket located at 260 East 8th Street. We're open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sundays till 9 p.m. The convenience store is a small community-based business in the South Boston neighborhood, and we're seeking to obtain our beer and wine license based off the public need. Our store is a family-owned business, and we have been operating it for the last 20 years successfully. It's a fixture in the neighborhood, community-based, that offers multiple services and a large variety of different convenience items to meet all of our client needs. We have different clients all throughout the South Beach community, including some that come from D Street, Mercer Street, especially Old Colony, and all nearby addresses. We plan on creating an add-on retail element by revamping our current 1,200 square footage space that we currently have to accommodate the new beer and wine inventory. As shown in our current floor plans, our objective is to use the back space of the store to serve this purpose. We just want to be able to offer our community a convenient location that offers their beer and wine alongside their grocery needs in one place. Our store has always been committed to accommodating prices, and they're typically lower than your larger nearby grocery stores. As part of the public need in showing for this license, we have submitted a petition signed by members of this community in full support of this. South Boston is a continuing growing neighborhood with currently multiple ongoing new construction and developments, which will increase the population nearby. Presently, the BPD is moving in nearly about 300 families or so into the neighborhood upon the redevelopment of units, which is not including the population that will come upon the completion of the last phase. We just want to be able to offer a full service to all of our clients moving back alongside the current residents of the South Beach community. As I mentioned before, our market is a family-owned business, and we plan on staying in the neighborhood as long as our community permits us. With the support that we have received from our clients for numerous of years, we just want to make sure that we continue to listen to our customer needs and just make the necessary steps to ensure we can do so in compliance with all of the city's regulations. As I said, thank you for your time today. We really do appreciate it, and hope you take this into consideration.
Thank you. You did a great job explaining that to us. And thank you for joining us today. I'm just going to ask you the manager of record questions. Are you a citizen?
Yes.
Are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Yes.
And where do you live?
In Boston.
Okay. And what is your experience in the food and beverage industry?
Yep, I've been involved in the food and beverage industry for probably the last 10 to 12 years. I mean, I pretty much grew up in this place, but I've been heavily involved for the last 6 years.
Okay, great. And are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any other questions at this time, commissioners.
Yeah, not at this time. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move to testimony in just a moment. I just want to clarify, Ms. Guerrero, that you're applying, what type of license you're applying for. You mentioned beer and wine. The application we have in front of us is for all alcoholic beverages. So just want to make sure we know what type of license you're applying for today.
Yeah, for sure. I actually had somebody from the city call me and I was able to explain that to them. So we did apply for an alcohol license. For right now, we do want to start off with just beer and wine. It's mainly what our community has been asking for, and that's what we want to try to accommodate as of right now. But we do want to apply for this license for future references, and hopefully we can accommodate more alcohol in the future. But I keep referring to beer and wine because our intent is to start off with that if possible.
Just to tease that out a little, just so I understand the episode. So you are still applying for an all alcoholic license, though you plan to only sell beer and wine to start? Is that what I just understood?
Yeah, for now, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Well, is there anybody who would like to testify, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm Anna White with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. We held an abutters meeting on September 21st for Genera Supermarket being granted a license to sell beer and wine. There was no opposition at the abutters meeting. Our office has received 2 letters in support, and we've received a petition with signatures of 29 abutters and South Boston residents who are in support of this location selling beer and wine. Our office would like to defer to the board at this time. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Flink's office. The councilor will be okay to support a beer and wine license, as that's what the community process was for. Therefore, we do support a beer and wine license if that's what the applicant will be seeking.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Guerrero, for joining us. Calling item 22, Midnight Morning LLC, doing business as Midnight Morning, located at 14B Birch Street in Roslindale, has applied for a common victual or 7-day alcoholic beverages license to be exercised on the above in one room on the first floor, kitchen and storage in the basement, indoor 1,500 square feet with 104 seating capacity. Also to include an outdoor annual patio of approximately 400 square feet on private property for 30 patrons between the hours of 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. weather dependent. Manager Virginia Schubert, closing time 2 a.m. Attorney John Cannell. Attorney Cannell.
Good afternoon. Still good morning. Good morning, Madam Chair, board members, Attorney Green. I believe I have here with me Virginia Schubert, the owner and proposed manager of record. The applicant is seeking a 7-day all alcoholic beverage license. This would be for a restaurant to do business as Midnight Morning, which would replace the Birch Street Bistro restaurant, which is operated at the same location for many years and ceased doing business this past week. Ms. Schubert has canvassed the neighborhood very well. She's investigated the business very well. She believes from all our interviews that an all alcoholic beverage license is not only there's public demand for that, but it would be absolutely necessary to operate this restaurant at this location. This is the same license that the current restaurant has at this location. We've met with the abutters. I believe we've filed a number of support letters and emails from the community. This would be 1,500 square feet inside, 400 square feet outside patio. There'd be a seating capacity of 104 inside, 30 people outside, and a daily hours of 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Ms. Schubert is a Massachusetts resident. She's a U.S. citizen. She has experience in the alcoholic beverage industry, and she's very familiar with the rules and regulations, both city and state, relating to the sales of alcoholic beverages. Ms. Schubert is here, and we would welcome any questions as to this application.
Thank you, Attorney Cornell, and thank you, Ms. Schubert, for joining us. At this point, I have no questions. I want to defer to Commissioner Curran and Commissioner Saxon.
I have no questions. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Chair, members of the board. My name is Uja Nochi. I'm the mayor's liaison to the neighborhood of Rosendale. I met with Virginia previously just to hear more about the project. Then we hosted a meeting for this project on the 12th of September, where 9 people attended, including the members of the Rosendale Village Main Street and a board member from the Rosendale Business Group. Many abutters seem to be in support of this project. And let me see. Some questions were brought up regarding daily management and consulting of the restaurant. But as of now, my office would like to defer judgment to the board.
Thank you, Uju. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? I see a hand raised from Anthony Giordano. You may go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, full support of this endeavor, critical to the neighborhood. And again, just reiterating full support. Thank you, everyone. Nice to see some new faces, some old faces.
Thank you. I see a hand raised from Sandra Duran as well. You may unmute yourself and testify.
Thank you. My name is Sandra Duran. I used to be a longtime resident of the city of Boston. I'm now a resident of Framingham. I do still frequent the Rosendale area and have been a long time community member who has gone to the Birch Street Bistro. And I am just thrilled that the new owners are interested in continuing to support the community. This particular establishment over the years has been an economic hit, I think, for the area, really an anchor there between restaurant, food, and music and other amenities for the community. And I just wanted to say good luck. I hope the board is supportive to Virginia's endeavors and that our community will be able to visit the new place very soon.
Thank you, Ms. Duran. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? The board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will take a second call for item number 3. Is there anybody with us from Torii, Japan, who has joined us?
Hi, how are you?
Great. Thank you for joining us. Let me just read back into the record and then we'll ask you to please present briefly to the board. Item number 3, Torii EB Food Inc., doing business as Torii Japan at 62 William C. Kelly Square in East Boston, has applied for a common victular license to be exercised on the above ground level front service kitchen, no storage, prep kitchen behind front service counter, 1 bathroom for customers, manager Minju, hours of operation 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Wu. If you could please just briefly present your proposal to the board.
Yes. Hi, how are you, everybody? This is Tony. I'm the owner of the Torii Japan at the located at 62 William C. Kelly Square. This space used to be a T-Mobile spot, and we turned it over into a fast food restaurant. And the our operation time from Monday through Friday will be from 11 to 10, and the I think Saturday will be half hour or 1 hour later. Probably 11, and the Sunday will be closing at 10 too. And my manager, Jay Zhu, he has experience for the restaurant industrial for over 20 years. So I think we'll be running very great in the location. And I believe the neighborhood of the East Boston are really enjoying our food so far. And hopefully see you guys soon.
Thank you, Mr. Wu. Chairman Joyce, do you have any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you. Commissioners?
None for me. Thank you.
None for me either. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Natalia Benitez with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant met with the Neighborhood Association on May 17th. The association voted in full support. Actually, the residents were very excited to see Tony come in with Torii Japan because we don't have a lot of sushi spots in East Boston. So it was very exciting for the neighborhood. We also hosted an abutters meeting on May 3rd Only one abutter came and voiced full support, so no concerns were raised. Yeah, and our office would like to defer judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Wu.
Thank you very much.
Those are all of the items before the board this morning. That will adjourn today's transactional hearing. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.